So the Nigerian stock market started the month of July where it left off on a roller coaster rally. The Osha Index, or the ASI, traded 1.61% on Monday, higher to close at the doorsteps of 62,000, with the market up 18% year to date, and that, if you are yesterday, were about 20%. Joining me now to discuss this further is Muktar Mohammed, the CEO of Finance with Muktar, and that's the man who you'll be looking at. Okay, great to have you.
Thank you.
And congratulations for that 5.3 trillion. We need to celebrate that. I would have brought some wine, by the way. But of course, it's too early in the day.
Too early.
You should be hosting some of us to that, because how did we arrive at this Olympian jump in the first half? Let's start from there.
I think we had the subsidy removal rally, or what I call it pronouncement rally. Then we had the unification rally. We have the Emefiele removal rally. And also, when you look at all those rallies, they're just based on what the president said. And so the market threw on that win of those pronouncements.
Do you think this too red hot to handle?
Well, it depends on where you are now. If you are in the market, you don't think it's red hot to handle. But if you are out of the market, you are planning to come in, then you'll think, wow, will this run be sustained in the long run? But again, when you look at Nigerian stock, when you look at their PE ratio, you look at how far they have been grossly undervalued over the years. I don't think you have any cost.
You think a few stocks have been overvalued?
Yeah, especially in the banking sector, especially the tier one banks. Most of them have been really, really overvalued over the years.
Relative to their earnings?
Yeah, relative to their earnings. Because some of them have earning of up to 7 to 8 naira. And yet they were selling at, some of them were selling at 20, some of them were selling at 18, some of them were selling at, the highest they had was 22.
The banking sector, Access, GTCO, Zenith Bank, crossing 1 trillion naira in market cap. That's red hot.
Access cost 1 trillion in profit before now. So, cutting 1 trillion in capital cap, you won't say it came too. You can only say it came too early, but it was expected because of the type of organic growth that we've seen in them, the kind of holding company structure, the type of companies that they are involved in, and the type of they are spread all over Africa to try to mitigate not just being in the over-regulated market in Nigeria. They are trying to spread to other parts of Africa, and that has also helped in building their bottom line. And we've not started seeing some of these African subsidiaries bringing in the kind of profit they have embassies. And when that comes, you always think Access will do well. For GTCO and Zenith Bank, they've been the hold horse that have been there all the way in terms of dividend payment. They've not really enjoyed capital appreciation for a very, very long time. I think they're just getting from that now.
If I'm out of the market right now and I'm looking in and I'm seeing the party you guys are having, in a manner of speaking, should I join the party right now? Is it a good time to jump in, or should I exercise caution?
Well, it depends. If you are looking at
on a first-time buyer,
you need to look at your risk level. Is it the best time to enter the market? People say the best time to enter the market was yesterday. People say the best time to leave the market is today. So it depends on which spectrum, on what type of growth are you looking at.
How's the market trading this morning?
I think
it's talk about today.
Today I started somewhere in a low note, especially for the banking tier one banks. With the exception of
pullback this morning.
Yes, there's a lot of pullback from Access, there's pullback from GTCO, there's a pullback from Zenith, but the numbers are not too. The pullbacks are not too large, too sharp, comparable to. Remember yesterday, some of them were already almost at a bid of 9-point-something%. But to have that pullback from Access, I think it could be a good time to enter the market. But when you see a stock like First Bank still pulling in strong here, almost hitting the 20 naira mark before I came in now. And then you look at what Access is doing. Then you look at Stanbic IBTC standing at 59. Then you look at GTB and you look at GTCO. Then when you look at these three and then comparable to First Bank, comparable to Stanbic, you still think there's a lot of value still in Access Bank, GTCO, and Zenith Bank.
We're going to have a lot more time talking about that, those banks. But let's talk about food subsidy removal and the downstream oil and gas sector. How far do you think this sector can go? I've seen prices within that for some of the raw retailers. Eternal oil is rolling. I'm just wondering.
You took it out of my mouth, Eternal oil.
Yeah, I was hearing.
It could have happened the same thing for Owando, if not because of their policy that they want to withdraw from the market.
Yes.
So it would have happened to them. Seplat has gone up also.
Yes.
And then you look at Total too. Total has moved from a low of 230 to a high of about 360s. So those sectors were definitely the first sector to benefit from the removal of subsidy, especially especially when you look at Total, you look at Eternal Oil, you look at their spread, you look at the kind of cash reserve they have to play, especially in the importation of refined petroleum.
So you think these are the folks who will be the big boys?
They are
in full import.
Definitely.
Now that the NNPC is getting out,
they are going to be the big.
NNPC is stepping aside a little bit.
A little bit. They are going to be the big boys, and when Dangote comes in, they will still also be the big boys because they have a lot of stations scattered all over Nigeria in terms of marketing.
To distribute.
So they have good distribution channels. So they will still be the big boys with the Dangotes.
It looks like the downstream boom days back.
It's definitely back. What's the if? The if there is, will we see stability in the exchange rate? Will they be able to have that liquidity until
to move the volume?
To move the volume until we have Dangote come to play. If. That's the if.
Okay, let's just hang in there. What about industrials sector?
I think the industrial sector for now, I'm still looking at because we don't know the policy direction of this government. What are they going to be doing? Will they still be involved in a lot of conglomerate building, roads constructions? We don't know yet because Buhari government pride himself to have done almost everything that we need to do with infrastructure. So what will the current administration be doing? Will they be building on that? Will they be having the power plant back? I know the president make mention about making sure we have stable electricity. So when you talk about the power plant, how much will these industrials play in that
mega projects that will require cement and others?
We don't know yet until we see those clear cut policy direction.
Maybe with a full cabinet in place?
Exactly. If we have the cabinet in place, and then who is the minister?
Of works, housing,
finance especially.
Whatever, and finance. What about the consumer goods sector? Are you bullish?
No, not at all.
Hold on, I haven't finished the question.
No, not at all.
You go
yeah,
ahead.
You know why I said I'm not bullish about it? You know why we are not bullish about the financial sector? The consumer sector. Inflation of pressure is high. Nigerians are not having so much money in their hands. Cost of living has gone up. How many Nigerians can afford to buy? Maybe you used to buy two cartons of milk before. You think of buying one. If
you buy 2 cartons, then you have a lot of money.
So even without a lot of money, you're not even thinking of buying just 1 carton because the price has gone up.
Do you see consumer goods, consumer pockets, your pocket, my pocket, more depressed in the short term, at least to the end of the year?
In the short term, definitely yes, because we need to re-strategize our buying culture. A lot of Nigerians are rethinking that space. And again, because we have not had the stability in the exchange rate. So I don't think we'll achieve that stability before the end of the year.
So you're not sure what price a loaf of bread
will be in December.
By Christmas.
That's Christmas. So for that space, there'll be a lot. And then not to forget that the cost of production also have gone high. Because again of transportation.
Logistics,
all that will play. And then the pocket of Nigerians are not swollen yet, even if the government have not come up with palliative. We don't know what this palliative will be. And
if it comes, you won't be part of those who get the palliative.
Exactly.
You are part of the 5.3 trillion naira stock market.
You will
be collecting 30,000 or 20,000 naira palliative, by the way. You don't need it.
But what you are saying, you are trying to make the government come to our space because the government don't want to hear that you are making so much money. They will come back for tax.
Again, the consumer goods sector, do you think at the end of the day that the household consumer goods like the PZ, the PZ Croissants, the Unilever, the Nestle, the Cadbury could have a bit of a dent in their numbers when 2023 is over? Definitely.
Even you see that the result, what we are seeing now, even for the past 1 year, is the kind of reserve they've built over the years. So that's what their shareholders are enjoying from. They don't seem to build those kind of profit that we've known them to have over the year. If you talk about, like, I think was it Unilever have to close one arm of their own business.
Yes, of their business line and spin it off.
Spin it off. So definitely you could see from that there's not so much profit in that. And that also has to do with that. Nigerians are looking for cheaper when the local manufacturers
would they be able to raise prices this year like they did last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Do you think they'll be able to do the same?
Raising price in terms of...
raising their product prices.
Of course, you just need to go to the supermarket. Those prices are up already. But will he be able to meet up with inflation? That's why I'm saying that most Nigerians that used to buy two, we don't want to buy two because the prices have been gone up to 20 to 25%.
Do you see alternative products coming up, springing up from the MSMEs?
Exactly. That was what exactly happened to Unilever, because alternative projects have come spring up, and most Nigerians are using this alternative product.
So that's good business for the small and medium enterprises.
And that also will depend on the cost of funds the small and medium enterprises will definitely.
Oh, by the way, because they also have to go through diesel, petrol,
cost of production, transportation, and all
labor, and what have you.
And don't ever forget power.
Oh, yeah, power. We need power. So do you think a combination of capital appreciation and dividend yield can come together this year to beat inflation if the market stay on this trajectory into the end of this quarter, which is September? Then we can say, well, maybe you can get out of the market and say, it's been a nice year.
If you get out of the market today, you've been a nice year, you beat inflation.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But again, if you take cash and get out of the market now, would you be able to hold it until December with inflation running after you?
Depending on your strategy. I can decide to go into the fixed income space. Seems to be looking a little bit bullish also.
Oh, really?
Really?
Well, there's so much Naira on the streets right now.
There's so much Naira on the street, and there's so much lot to do with the Naira because of the cost of living has gone up. So what used to be...
But look, your overnight... Your overnight lending is 2%, 1.6% yesterday. Overnight lending between bank A and bank B.
Remember, like I said, it depends on your strategy. Look at it this way. I've made so much capital appreciation. I beat inflation in the bank in my investment in the stock market.
Yes.
I'm looking for a safe NG room.
Yes.
To make sure that my funds are kept, and also looking for the next opportunity to go into the market again. Then I won't want to just let my money lie idle. So I want to earn something on it. But I
shouldn't just park them in boxes somewhere in the corner of the room.
No. That would be because inflation, inflation is still a monster. Remember, even the World Bank is projecting 25%. And if the World Bank is projecting 25%, I was the Bank of America projecting 25% before the end of the year. And if what I have done now, what kind of return I've made in the stock market now is above 25%. So definitely that means I've overshoot their projection already. So I must be looking for safety one way or the other.
Do we need foreign investors? Do we still need them? Or we should just continue riding on?
You know, the beauty about this rally is driven by local investors. We've never had a rally
I'm so happy about it. Another handshake.
Yes. We've never had a rally that was driven by local investors. Remember,
we haven't seen that in how many years?
We've never seen that.
We've never seen it.
We've never seen it. Remember,
not even during the consolidation period.
With Rotos, I said, we will not be able to see the kind of bullish run we used to see. I said it here on this program because the foreign investors are not coming. But for the first time, we've seen a bullish run for almost a month. Yeah. And it's driven by local investors. So for me, it's good. But do we need the foreign investors? Definitely need them because of what they are bringing in.
What are they bringing?
They are bringing in FX.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now on that note, we can have a final handshake. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.